In my opinion, Gen 7 through 9 were actually good generations. Fight me. Gen 10 has probably been revealed in the Pokemon Day Direct by now, yet I decided to focus not on that reveal, but on the reveals we got in the past of some of my favorite generations. I will be covering Legends Arceus as well in this video because that game's reveal was an event unto itself. Also, gamefreak said that that game is considered mainline, so yeah. Every single one of these generations announcements were dropped on a Pokemon Day Direct. The first Pokemon Direct ever was in 2013, by the way. That wasn't really on Pokemon Day though, rather the date is really random, January 8th. That Direct was focused on X and Y and featured the late Storu Iwata. We're starting off with Gen 7, Sun and Moon. Right before Sun and Moon were announced on the Pokemon Day presentation on the 26th of February 2016, 10 years ago by the way, the logos and the titles for the games were leaked from a European trademark site. The Direct itself is really short, it is about 6 minutes long. It's a bit strange that we went from these 4 to 6 minute directs to now the 25-minute directs we have grown accustomed to. Yet everything we would come to expect from this kind of direct was featured, including the yearly nostalgic montage ending with the announcement of the newest generation. The way the announcer says, "Available worldwide in 9 languages," is so funny to me, just have a listen.
Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Available worldwide in 9 languages.
Oh yeah, this is around the time when the new 3DS line of systems came out. To be perfectly frank, these games ran better on the new 3DSs. The Pokemon battles especially benefited from the boost in performance. When there were more than 2 Pokemon on screen, the game started to lag. Overall, this announcement wasn't anything too special considering it was the 20th Pokemon anniversary. In this direct, Ishihara mentioned that Gen 1 was also coming to 3DS. What a surprise that we're getting Gen 1 again for the franchise's 30th anniversary as well. While a Pokemon Z, a third version to X and Y, was rumored to be in development and planned to be released around 2015 and 2016, what we got was Sun and Moon. The developer's official explanation for this was that since it was the franchise's 20th anniversary, they wanted to surprise fans with a new generation. After some data mining, fans discovered that there were actually plans for a Gen 6 third version, or should I say third versions, but they were ultimately scrapped and all of their new content seems to have moved to Gen 7. Even Sun and Moon's gimmick was named Z-Moves, probably as a cool little nod. Even the third Gen 6 Legendary's whole story was transported straight into Sun and Moon. But just don't go thinking that we didn't receive Pokemon Z because of Gen 7. No, Game Freak just had other priorities at the time, and they were working on different games. They tried to escape the shackles of only developing Pokemon titles. If you want to know more about this, go and watch Did You Know Gaming's video on Pokemon Z and Pokemon Gray, it's really insightful. I can describe the announcement of Gen 8, the first Pokemon home console title, with only one word: hype. The games themselves were really by the numbers and a bit disappointing, although the announcement itself was really hype. The official Pokemon Twitter page hyped up Gen 8's announcement with the reveal of this image. The image isn't all that much, but the 3 Pokeballs are really telling. From Gen 7's 6-minute direct, we get a whole 7-minute direct. Not even a minute into it, we got the reveal of Gen 8. With full-on gameplay, a look at the graphics, and a cinematic trailer of the 3 new starters. That announcement was just pure hype. I can really see why so many people were hyped about Sword and Shield back in 2019. Even the reveal of the logos with the cool metallic sound design is so cool. Junichi Masuda was featured in the direct with a red jacket and red hair, might I add, to explain what this generation will be. I am really disappointed that Shigeru Omori didn't commit to the act fully and just showed himself wearing casual clothes. How cool would it have been if he dyed his hair green and wore a green button-up shirt? Omori explains to us essentially what the Galar region actually is. We also get a closer look at the starters too. Okay, so listen to what he has to say. I'm flabbergasted just fully knowing what Sword and Shield actually were. Here, listen.
Our goal has been to create the greatest Pokémon experience yet. We're challenging ourselves to try new things, while still treasuring what makes Pokémon special.
The greatest Pokémon experience yet. They challenged themselves. My guy, Gen 8 is the most run-of-the-mill Pokémon title. The only interesting thing they had going on for it was the wild area, and that place was so little and so, well, boring and barren. Most of the game isn't even spent in the wild area. Sometimes I even forget that this place actually existed at all. When I think of Gen 8, I think of the cool towns and the cool scenery, not the wild area. Also, a lot of people were mad because Game Freak decided to make a stylized tree. First it was the tree, then the ugly Gen 9 textures, and now it's the flat buildings. Who knows what Gen 10 awaits us? 4 years ago in 2021, we got the announcement of 2 Pokemon titles actually, all Gen 4 related, and revealed in the same Pokemon Day Direct, which this time was 20 minutes long. This was the 25th anniversary Direct. The slogan was, Pokemon, 25 years of non-stop adventure. We start the Direct off with a nostalgic montage this time. This kind of voiceover they have here is exactly why Pokemon should never ever have voice acting in their games.
1996, Gold Silver, Mobile Adapter,
Ruby, Sapphire, Black, White, Rotation Battle.
This montage is 5 minutes long, by the way. The years weren't kind to Ishihara. My reaction when Pokemon Snap was announced was, okay. It is cool though that Game Freak took some inspiration from Pokemon Snap. Especially in Legends ZA, you can really feel that the Pokemon coexist alongside us. It's not on the level of Pokemon Snap by any means, yet it does the job right, and we can trace where Game Freak took their inspiration from. Ah yes, the reveal of BDSP, the absolute lamest mainline Pokemon games ever created since Generation 1 and all of its remakes. Sorry y'all, I know you love Gen 4 and Gen 4 has a lot of good things going for it, mainly the anime and the Pokemon designs, but Gen 4's games were really boring and slow and lame and just I could never ever finish a playthrough of any Gen 4 game, even Platinum. It was cool though that right after the reveal of the sloppy mess that was BDSP, we got the announcement of an actual good Pokemon game. It was so cool that we got a cinematic intro here. I'm really in love with all of the aesthetic choices and art style decisions of Legends Arceus. Do you all remember the chills we got when we first saw this teaser? The implications that this was Pokemon but Breath of the Wild were all over the place. Not only graphically did it resemble Zelda, but the piano in the background helped to strengthen that connection. Seeing that you can just throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon was mind-blowing to all of us. No battle, an unnecessary cutscene, and a fade to another plane of existence, you just throw the ball and catch them on. Seeing the Pokemon battles and how your Pokemon actually go to the target and hit them felt so real, and yet so unreal, especially coming straight from Sword and Shield with their high-quality animations. The environments looked so nice in the teaser, and I am really disappointed that in the final release, so much of the original detail and foliage is just missing. Also, Oshawott was a starter! I flipped out so hard. All of these starters are the absolute best of the best. I love all 3 of them with a burning passion. I love how their final evolutions have a specific to Hisui form to them. I especially love Hisui and Typhlosion. He is so derpy. I love him. So cool. Legendary announcement. At the end of the Direct, we get more information about Legends Arceus and we get to hear for the first time the Jubilife Village theme. I love that theme, it's so nostalgic to me. I'm not even sure why. By the way, the UI of the game sure had a lot of changes since reveal. And of course, the last shot we get is just pure Breath of the Wild, to hammer the parallels in even more. And from a semi-open world game, we go to the actual open world game, Gen 9. It got revealed in a Pokemon Day Direct as is tradition, but yet, this one was only 14 minutes. Remember how we were actually all caught off guard with the reveal of the new generation? We just got Legends Arceus in January, and in February they revealed the new generation. What we expected was just Pokemon Legends Arceus DLC, which we kinda got in the form of the free Daybreak update. Oh yeah, this was also the direct with the creepy Pikachu animatronic. Describing that thing as a hellspawn is an understatement. I am really glad they got rid of him. Ah yes, we may only have 14 minutes, but most of it is of course mainly filler. Pokemon Masters, Cafe Remix, Pokemon Unite, a random BDSP event, who gives a crap? It was a bit disappointing that Legends Arceus didn't receive any major DLC expansion, but it is what it is. The Daybreak update was still something interesting and fun, and you know, free, which, a freebie? From Game Freak? What? Nobody expected or even thought that we were gonna get Gen 9, so this, to us, all hinted towards a new Detective Pikachu game. With this security guard going through a building, this music building up tension, this could have been also a hint towards a sequel to the live-action movie, especially with the paranormal events happening all of a sudden. Gen 9 had nothing to do with how this reveal was presented. And now, all of a sudden, BAM! An ugly shot of Paldea. By the way, people were actually amazed how this looked when the reveal dropped. I was really confused back then. This shot is just so ugly, especially the foliage, it's really icky. I love Gen 9 with a burning passion, it's my second favorite generation, but even I can tell that this shouldn't have been our first look at Paldea. Yeah, the second shot with Castle Royale Lake is marvelous. The nighttime shot of Paldea looks great as well. The foggy Messagoza one too looks good. The Breath of the Wild open world shots are stunning even. I am really confused why they began with the ugly shot of Paldea. Seeing the Pokemon have such sleek and nice looking textures and shaders was so cool to me back then, and it is still cool to me now. We got a look at our protagonist, who I might add still looks odd to me even to this day. The protagonist duo look like they don't belong in the art style of Pokemon, and that made me think that this was supposed to be a spin-off game. And now we are back to the security guard being confused why he's the one revealing to us, the audience, a new generation. Don't worry, guy, we're asking us the same question. Oh hey, the starters! Oh god, how I loved their designs. At the moment when I saw Quaxly, I knew that I was going to choose him, and that never happened, because I ended up choosing Sprigatito, and in my second playthrough, I chose Fuecoco. I never picked Quaxly once. Oh look, title reveals! Yeah, they didn't have the same oomph to them the way Sword and Shield's titles had. Also, they looked really ugly to me, the yellow outline especially is so icky. Overall, Gen 9's reveal was lackluster in comparison to the Gen 8 reveals, Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus. If I had to rank these reveals, at the bottom, at 4th place, we have Sun and Moon. Then, in 3rd place, Scarlet and Violet. 2nd place goes to Sword and Shield because that announcement was so hype that the disappointment roller coaster we got afterwards was just so much more hurtful. And at 1st place we have the reveal of Legends Arceus. Getting that passion project and seeing what Game Freak was actually capable of doing just hyped us all so much. But what do you think? Which announcement hyped you the most? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my Pokemon playlist and also subscribe to the channel. And with that, それではまたね. Bye bye.